The House Rules Committee will come to order. Would the clerk please take the attendance?
Chair Schuette.
Here.
Representatives Aragona.
Here.
Wenzel. Here. Martin.
Here.
Posthumus.
Here.
DeBoer. Whitwer. Here. Liberati.
Here.
Hersberg.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you do have a quorum.
Representative Wenzel moves to adopt the minutes of the January 22nd meeting, and there being no objection, the motion prevails by unanimous consent. We will now be hearing testimony on House Bill 4934, and Representative Frisbie will be testifying. Representative Frisbie, hit the green button and you'll be good to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to testify. It's a pretty straightforward bill in that it would allow the extension of a temporary license for those seeking a higher license and going through training. So if the license expired, their temporary license expired, it would be allowed to be renewed once for a 2-year period while they're seeking that higher licensure. So just, it takes away the ambiguity and allows Lara to apply licensure levels across the board in psychology on a more level playing field. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions.
Seems pretty straightforward there, Representative Frisbie. Appreciate it clarifying this language, and for relicensure needs to be a process we need to make easier. So I appreciate your work there.
Thank you.
Any other questions from members of the committee? All right. Seeing none, I'll read in a couple of cards. Not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Griff Drew from Lara. Not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Dana Lazenby from the Oakland County Community Health Network. And not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Jarrett Skorup from the Mackinac Center. And we will now be hearing testimony and subsequently taking up House Bills 5197 and 5198. Representative Smit and Representative Bruck will both be testifying. Representatives, begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Chair Schuette and members of the committee. Today I'm testifying in support of my legislation, House Bill 5197, which would close an existing loophole in our election system by prohibiting foreign funding of ballot proposals and initiatives. Currently, federal law makes it illegal for foreign nationals to contribute to political candidates and super PACs, but this prohibition does not apply to ballot measures. This critical loophole exposes state and local initiatives and referenda to otherwise illegal foreign influence, and foreign-tied spending will continue in the state until it is closed. This problem is exacerbated because ballot question committees that are formed to support or oppose ballot proposals generally have few restraints on the source of their funding and can accept unlimited donations from legal sources. This, combined with a loophole in federal law, creates a situation when bad acting 501c4s can accept funds from foreign sources and then donate to Michigan ballot question committees, making the original foreign source difficult to trace. In 2021, a veto letter to the legislature, Governor Whitmer stated that she would, I quote, be delighted to consider bipartisan legislation that bans foreign money in Michigan elections, as state law only bars it from super PAC, end quote. My bill gets at the root of this problem that Governor Whitmer wrote about in her letter. Similar bills have already passed with bipartisan support in 9 states, and it's time that Michigan follows suit. That is why I'm asking for your support of my legislation, House Bill 5197. It will cancel foreign influence within our elections and ensure only Michigan voices get to decide, which potentially could become our state laws. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Schuette and members of the committee. Honored to be here today. Representative Will Bruck, 30th District. I'm talking about Bill 5198, which is a partner with 5197, in regards to foreign entities or foreign persons that are contributing to the administration of elections in Michigan. It is requiring certifications to be filed with the Secretary of State that whether or not they have foreign monies, whether in-kind donations or actual contributions outside of government entities that are contributing for the administration of elections. So very similar in concept to what Representative Smit has. And that's about it. It's limiting the foreign influence in our administration of the elections.
Representative Martin?
Yeah, so if it's a U.S. type entity collecting the signatures and paid collections of signatures from other states that will never live underneath this Constitution, it only applies to if they take foreign funding. It would end that, but they can still hire somebody from Nevada to come in here and collect signatures. They can still fund from California. It's just dealing if they collect foreign funds.
That's correct. This just deals strictly with the foreign part of that.
Takes care of a little bit of the problem.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I didn't mention this earlier, but since 2017, Michigan has received over $34 million of foreign funding for these ballot initiatives. And so I believe also that Michigan is the top state that has dollars pouring in, foreign dollars pouring in. So that is, our first attempt is to close this loophole. Certainly our Committee on Election Integrity can look into further situations that could stop that, but for this part, this is just dealing with foreign dollars.
Yeah, that's good, a good start, because Michigan's Constitution is easy to change through petitions. Once it gets on the ballot, it seems to pass almost every time. They don't live under it. The people that collect the signatures, they pay them, and they can collect them all from a metropolitan area and never go to the UP, and the UP would never say they're going on the ballot. So I think this is a good start. We need to work on it.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate that because, as you said, Michigan has a relatively low threshold for initiative changes to our Constitution. And as I understand this, right now, you can have foreign nationals donate to an unlimited amount to a ballot committee.
Yes.
That's a loophole the size of a semi-truck. That's incredible. So appreciate your work to close that. And also appreciate this bill involves rule promulgation and coordination with the Department of State, and the Department of State does not wish to speak, but is in support of the concept of the bill. So, any other questions, members of the committee? All right, seeing none, thank you,
Thank you.
representatives. Appreciate your work on this important issue. And there is a substitute, an H1 substitute for 5197, which clarifies definitions to match the Michigan Campaign Finance Act and change the definition of foreign national to be consistent with its companion bill. And Representative Postumus moves to adopt the substitute. Would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Schuette?
Yes.
Representative Zaragona? Yes. Wenzel? Yes. Martin? Yes. Postumus? Yes. DeBoer?
Yes.
Whitwer? Yes. Liberati? Yes. Hersberg? Yes. Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
The substitute is adopted, and Representative Postumus moves to report the bill with recommendation as substitute H1. Would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion to report, Chair Schuette?
Yes.
Representative Zaragona? Yes. Wenzel? Yes. Martin? Yes. Postumus?
Yes.
Sorry. Representative Martin, did you say yes or pass? Yes. Yes. Representative DeBoer? DeBoer?
Yes.
Whitwer? Yes. Liberati? Yes. Hersberg? Yes. Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
Bill is reported with recommendation. And there is an H1 substitute for House Bill 5198, which prevents government entities from renewing contracts if a vendor fails to file a sworn certification and removes the possibility of jail time for noncompliance. Representative Martin moves to adopt the substitute. Would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Schuette?
Yes.
Representative Zaragona? Yes. Wenzel? Yes. Martin? Yes. Postumus?
Yes.
DeBoer?
Yes.
Whitwer?
Yes.
Liberati? Yes. Hersberg? Yes. Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
And Representative Martin again moves to report the bill with recommendation as substitute H1. Would the clerk please call the roll?
On the motion to report, Chair Schuette?
Yes.
Representative Zaragona? Yes. Wenzel? Yes. Martin? Yes. Posthumus? Yes. DeBoer?
Yes.
Whitworth? Yes. Liberati? Yes. Hersberg? Yes. Mr. Chair, you have 9 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
The bill is reported with recommendation. All right, we're now hearing testimony on House Bill 4932, and Representative Cavitt will be testifying.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members of the committee. I represent the 106th House District, which includes Sheboygan, my hometown, and most of rural Northeast Michigan. And I have seen firsthand the challenges our communities face with growing rural healthcare workforce shortage. Too often, our kids leave our small towns to attend universities in larger cities and never come back. That brain drain is real, and it has long-term consequences for access to rural health care in Michigan. House Bill 4932 is a smart, practical step to help address that problem by modernizing continuing education requirements and allowing those requirements to be met through approved online format. This bill reduces unnecessary barriers for pharmacists and pharmacy technicians who want to live and work in rural communities. Pharmacists are often the most accessible healthcare professionals in districts like mine, and this bill emphasis on pain and symptom management strengthens patient care while supporting efforts to prevent prescription drug misuse. This legislation supports our existing healthcare workforce and helps retain talent in rural Michigan and reflects common sense policy. Thank you, and I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, Representative Cavitt. We've been doing a lot of work to expand these type of C options to, again, give some more flexibility to career fields we're trying to fill. So appreciate your work on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Your cooperation with the department. Not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Griff Drew from Lara. And not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Andrew Martin from Meyer. And not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Jared Skorup from the Mackinac Center. Thank you. All right. And we'll now be hearing testimony on House Bills 4790. Representative Thompson will be testifying. And Representative Thompson, come forward. Begin when you're ready, please.
Thank you, Chair Schuette and members of the committee for the chance to testify today on House Bill 4790. House Bill 4790 requires the Michigan Board of Medicine to promulgate rules on a menopause course or a program that will encourage doctors to take this course. Despite the fact that menopause affects millions of women across the country, there is still a lot of mystery related to it. As the Economic Alliance of Michigan pointed out in their support letter for this legislation, only 94 physicians in the state of Michigan are considered by the Menopause Society to be menopause practitioners. There are currently 1 million women in the state of Michigan that are at menopause or perimenopausal age, which is within their 40s to 55. As I can tell you from personal experience, women suffer hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, and poor sleep for months and years. And if doctors don't understand menopause, that means that women are not getting the answers to the questions that they have and that they deserve to get. Doctors need to take 150 hours of continuing education credits to renew their medical license. They get to choose which courses that they take. We need to make sure and guarantee that there is a course to encourage more education to our physicians on menopausal symptoms and treatments for women, and to make sure that we are getting the facts to these women because a lot has changed in research over the years relating to hormone replacement therapy and so on. This is important. It's an important step to move forward for equality and healthcare for women. It's good, compassionate care for Michigan women that are going through menopause now and into the future. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to your support on this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Not wishing to speak, but submitting written testimony in support is Julie Cox from Stellus. And not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Stacy Leak from the Economic Alliance Michigan. Any questions, members of the committee? Thank you. Don't go too far, Representative Thompson.
I
However,
wasn't.
Yeah, because we have you testifying on, we're double dipping on House Bill 4899. And begin when you're ready.
Thank you again for the opportunity to speak on this legislation of mine, House Bill 4899, in reducing the red tape and regulations related to licensure to make sure that we have consistency in legislation licensure, and we are combating a nursing shortage here in the state of Michigan. There are two major credentialing organizations the Michigan Board of Nursing uses when evaluating nurses with degrees from other countries: the Commission on Graduates of Foreign Nursing Schools and the National Association of Credential Evaluation Services, or NACIS. Currently, the Board of Nurses considers credentialing from both of these organizations when licensing licensed practical nurses. However, they do not do that when licensing our registered nurses. My bill requires that the board approve the credentials from both of these organizations for registered nurses as well, as long as the nurse meets all of the licensing requirements, including in the NCLEX RN exam, which they must take in order to receive licensure in the state of Michigan. Permitting NACIS credentialing for RNs would give graduates of foreign nursing schools more options and could facilitate recruitment here in the state of Michigan. We know that there is a nursing shortage in the state of Michigan. This is well documented by hospitals, nursing organizations, and patients seeking care. It's important that we eliminate these unnecessary burdens for nurses who are actually qualified to seek employment here in the state of Michigan. Every registered license in the state of Michigan, regardless of where they're educated, must meet the same statutory requirements, must pass the NCLEX RN, must practice under the authority and discipline of the Michigan Board of Nursing, and House Bill 4899 does not waive or weaken those requirements. Patient safety remains a top priority. The board remains to have full discretion to deny any licensure of education if education is not substantially equivalent, or if credentials cannot be verified, if there are fraud, misrepresentation, or unsafe practice, these still remain grounds for denial or discipline under these licensures. At the same time, when healthcare systems are under immense strain, this legislation ensures that qualified, vetted, NCLEX licensed nurses are allowed to practice here in the state of Michigan while maintaining Michigan's high standards in patient care. As a nurse, I can tell you that I have worked with nurses from multiple different countries. We have a high amount of nurses from the Philippines here in the state of Michigan, and we need not forget our neighbors to the north in Canada. Lots of nurses come over to get educated here in Michigan from Windsor and Ontario and to work at the DMC. And I can tell you that these nurses, in my experience with them, they are hard workers. Nurses from the Philippines, I've had great relationships with them. They're smart, they're bright, they're here to work, they pick up shifts. They're a great asset to the nursing team and to the healthcare team in the state of Michigan. So I respectfully ask in your support for this, and I'm hoping to get a yes vote on House Bill 4899. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Appreciate your work on this. We certainly do have a nursing shortage in the state, so it's important that we look for ways that are innovative to solve this issue. So, not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Taylor Alpert from the Michigan Health and Hospital Association, and not wishing to speak in support of the bill is Jarrett Skorup from the Mackinac Center. With that, we have no absent members, and there being no further business before the committee will stand adjourned.